Well, we're hidden behind all the green.
Well, welcome. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. The first item on the agenda is the approval of the November 20th, 2025 meeting minutes. Is there a motion to approve those minutes?
Make that motion.
Sean?
Second.
Second, Mark. Any discussion?
Abstain.
Okay. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, with Patrick abstaining. All right, next item is announcements. No announcements? No announcements. Okay, great, then let's proceed. Rezoning case 25 CZ 19 Camp Branch.
Good evening, Matthew Carpenter with Parker Poe, 301 Fayetteville Street. Here this evening on behalf of the builder and developer, Lennar. This is a conditional rezoning case that we're calling the Camp Branch Lane rezoning. And the purpose of the rezoning is to allow a single-family subdivision, relatively small single-family subdivision. And so I'll go through our conditions, our initial EAB conditions, and then we'll be happy to answer your questions. I've also got Chris Boley with me with Lennar, who's also available. This site is a 21-acre assemblage on Holland Road, just west of 540. 540 is just off the screen to your right. You can see some of the neighboring sites, or the nearby sites rather, to the west and then the north, are single-family subdivisions that have been developed over the last 15, 20 years. To the south and east of us, those sites are large single-family lots that are in the county. So those are generally on well and septic, large 5, 8, 10-acre lots. And then just to the right of the screen, you can see the West Village, which is a large mixed-use development sort of clustered around 540 and the intersection to the southeast of here. One point I want to make about the site, and I'm sure we'll discuss it, is that there are large riparian buffers along the northern portion of the site and along the center of the site. And so while this is a conditional rezoning, so we don't have a layout, when we do get to subdivision plan, those streams will really guide, how we're laying out this site. That they really sort of force the design of the layout around the existing streams and the stream buffer. So that's a theme that you'll see in our conditions for certain things like access and lot sizes, why some of the conditions address those. The land use map designation here is medium density residential, which is a large yellow area on the land use map excerpt on the right side of the screen. And that calls for single-family homes and townhomes up to 6 units an acre. It's sort of a common designation across town in areas that aren't mixed-use areas or higher density. You can see that the area around 540 is meant on the land use map to be the mixed-use area with those sort of candy cane striping. And then as you move to the west, it's meant to fall away in density to medium density in the area that we're in, and then if you were to enlarge the map, you'd see it's lower density as you get further west. And so we're requesting a rezoning to medium density residential, which is the district that's recommended by the land use map designation. Our max density is 4 units an acre, which is in line with the medium density category. I think our initial sketches anyway are much lower than that because of the presence of the streams. I think we're going to be closer to around 60 units, which is under 3 units an acre. Just because when you lay out, the required RCA, the lots, the play lawns, et cetera, you just can't get that many lots on the site because of the existence of the streams. And so we have that max density, and then we have 40-foot minimum lots. If you look at the UDO, you'll see that the district calls for 50-foot lots. Really, the reason we're asking for that is because this is sort of a conservation style subdivision where the lots will really all be, we haven't designed the layout, but because of the streams, the majority of the lots will be in this portion of the site. And so to get anywhere close to the density that's recommended by the land use map, which again will be well under 4 units an acre, the land use map recommends 6, we do need slightly smaller lots and setbacks. So that's also the reason for the setback conditions. The fourth bullet for 1 point of access to the public street system, if you look at the UDO, I believe it requires 2 points of access for more than 50 lots. We're probably going to come in at around 58, 60 lots. And if we were to put 2 points of access here, it would require likely 2 stream crossings. And so the goal was to limit the access to 1 stream crossing and 1 vehicular access on Holland Road. And so that's the thinking there. We have discussed that condition with staff, making sure that there is safe and adequate emergency access here. The next bullet is a 20-foot type B buffer and privacy fence along the Donnelly property, and that's we defined that as the Donnelly property in the condition to make it clear, but that's this property line. We met with the property owner there, and he requested a fence along his shared property line to help with the transition between his property, which again is a large county subdivision lot, and then our site. He did want in the future the ability to connect to utilities, and so we are stubbing a street and utilities to his site. But if you read the condition, we've specified that it will stop 25 feet short of the property line. So that way there will be the stub street and then 5 feet and then the planted buffer. And there are existing trees in that area, and so those trees will remain even though there's a street stub there. And so we're trying to give him sort of both the planted buffer and the future connection. And so the idea is that the right-of-way will go all the way to the property line, but that we'll leave the buffer there and not extend the street until, if sometime likely in the far future, his property were redeveloped, or he or a subsequent owner wanted to connect to public utilities, because I know there have been some issues with the well and septic in that neighborhood. And then the next condition is just a similar privacy fence along the southern property line. Again, the utility extension that I just described, and then we've committed also to a stub street to the south for future connectivity, which would likely be somewhere in this area, just east of the stream. We'll also have road widening on Holland Road, consistent with the town's street designation on the thoroughfare and collector street plan. We do have that's sort of paraphrasing, we do have in the condition language that we will be required to get permission from the Army Corps, obviously, to widen that road and disturb the stream. If the Army Corps will not permit the disturbance, then we pay a fee in lieu for that widening. So it'll really depend on the transportation, traffic need, and then the Corps' willingness to allow that. So, and then finally we have, they're not listed here, but several of the architectural commitments that are common in single-family cases in Apex, things like building materials, garage doors, etc. And then, let's see, the environmental conditions that we've included, again, this was just the initial worksheet, so we're happy to evaluate your recommendations after tonight's meeting, but we have one sign per SCM to reduce prohibit fertilizer rather, and reduce pet waste. 60% of the landscaping will be native species, and then one pet waste station per 25 residential units. And I will add that this site too will likely have 35% RCA for the 30% RCA requirement, and then the extra 5% if the site's mass graded. So happy to answer any questions.
On the Camp Branch Lane, is that going to be formal access into?
Yeah, I believe that's our initial goal, is to use a similar location for the site access. Yes.
Is that paved or unpaved?
I don't think it's paved now. Yeah, it's unpaved.
If it was, it wouldn't matter. They'd have to run sewer through it. They'd have to
Yeah,
tear it all out
that's true,
anyway.
yeah.
So
Yep.
So what is the stream flowing through now? Is it a culvert there?
I don't know. Maybe. Do you know, Chris, the driveway? If there's just a pipe or a small culvert?
There is an old culvert there, and it's set pretty low, so it probably have to be replaced.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about topography a little bit. It looked so that you seem to be saying that most of the development is going to be on that southeast corner. What is happening with that frontage along Holland Road?
So we may have, there may be a couple lots here, but the majority of this area will likely not to be developed, and then we're probably going to locate some of the open spaces, sort of around the riparian buffers to increase some of the separation there, and avoid having to bring in a ton of additional dirt. I know I talked to the civil engineer, and so they're trying to balance the site so there's not a lot of additional dirt being hauled in to raise the elevation. So.
Because it looked like that on that northwestern side coming down to the stream, there was a fair amount of slope. So
Right,
are there
right.
going to be a lot of retaining walls, do you anticipate, with this?
I don't think so. I don't know.
you can't answer that question until you do it.
Yeah. Again, so a lot of these cases are PUDs, and so PUDs also don't have the site layout, but they are further along in terms of engineering than just the conditional rezoning cases, because these are really just the written conditions that we're discussing and the uses on the site. Obviously Lennar is doing their own due diligence and working through sketches, so we know some things, but things like locations of retaining walls, we don't know yet.
Okay. Sort of landscape context, you can see at the northwest there is floodplain there are lots in that pink area off the map that are
Right.
unfortunately platted in the floodplain, so they are downstream of your development. Also downstream, the town got a rather large flood resiliency grant to restore some stream length of Beaver Creek at
Right.
the Apex Nature Park for flood storage. So what does your stormwater look like? What are you thinking about that?
So I believe we'll have at least a pond, but yeah, and we are required to do a flood study.
You are? Okay.
Yeah, so that's part of this process. And before we can build anything, I believe as part of the subdivision process, town will review that flood study and our stormwater plan, in conjunction.
So do you know, is this area required for the 25-year storm or the 10?
I believe it's 25 because we're in the primary watershed.
Okay.
And that also means we'll have, I believe this stream here is perennial, so there will be 100-foot buffers there. And then this is an intermittent stream, so we should have 50-foot buffers on each side there.
Okay.
So on that stream that kind of runs parallel to Holland Road with a 50-foot, what is the distance from the 50-foot back over to the DOT right away?
I don't know off the top of my head. We can look at that. I'd say it's probably 100 feet or so eyeballing it, but yeah, we can look at that
I'm
measurement.
just curious, like I said, if you know, if you're trying to maximize your density, then you put driveways out to Holland Road, and then if your lot's 100 foot in depth, there's plenty enough room to.
Yeah, well, we'll definitely be,
additional lots.
I don't know, but I doubt transportation would give us more than 2 entrances on Holland. Like if we were to put, I get your point, if we could just have direct driveway access, you know, but I don't think, I don't think we would get more than 2 driveways here because of the curve and driveway spacing requirements. So there are obviously driveways now like that platted today in the town of Apex. They wouldn't get driveway access if they could have another street. And so really, like I said, the goal is to put the majority of the density here and then consolidate it into one access point, which is also less of an impact on the stream and wetlands. So
You said that would put you below 50 lots there, right?
about 58, 60 is what we would expect.
I think over 50, is it over 50 yet?
Yeah, we have a condition. That's why we have the condition that only one point of access will be required to modify the UDO standard that requires 2 access points over 50 lots, and not to get too far in the weeds, but there's a state statute that basically says that UDO requirements can't be stricter than building and fire code requirements, and I believe the building code standard is something like 75 or 80 lots require 2 points of access. And so, you know, we've discussed that with staff. You know, we've sort of gone all the way around on exactly where we come out on that, and so we thought the best thing to do was just put it in a condition to make it clear. So,
Is there gonna be an HOA with this development, or?
yes, they would be.
There'll be some common property and common
Yes,
ground?
that's right. Yeah, the buffers will be common area because those are typically owned by the HOA to protect the buffer areas, and then also the open spaces, et cetera. The roads will likely be public though; it won't be a private road situation. Yeah.
Have you had your stream calls done?
I think so. We have the stream termination stuff.
Yes, we've
yes,
had the flagging done
Okay, and they have determined that is intermittent stream?
and the buffer width.
Yeah.
Okay. That pond that's upstream, is that's still there?
Here.
Yeah.
Yes, that's there.
And so somebody else is responsible for maintaining that dam?
Yeah. Well, yes, that property owner is, but you know the downstream and impacts have to be studied as part of the stormwater process. So our pond will, you know, we can't just.
Oh, I know, that's upstream anyway. You couldn't get, I'm just.
Oh, I see. You're saying if
They're
the
upstream.
dam were to break, I'm with you.
Yeah.
You know, maybe we'll do some further investigation into that.
And so I'm wondering too, I mean, did they look at whether or not that pond has buffers on it, and do those buffers extend onto your property?
No, we have not. I mean, we don't. That property is not part of this project. So, you know, even if Lennar wanted to send a consultant out there, they couldn't without the property owner's permission. So I don't know if the pond is a jurisdictional wetland. I know a lot of ponds in this area anyway. The majority of ponds are old farm ponds. This one, I don't know.
This one looks in line with.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So
Yeah.
it could be different. That's right.
Yeah. So you talked a little bit about fencing. Could you kind of show me exactly where
Sure.
the fences are going to go?
Sure. So along this property line with the Donnelly property, so you can see that property starts here at this white line and goes all the way up to here. So
Are you going to put them in the fencing in the floodplain?
no, it would probably have to start south of the wetlands and riparian buffer. So it would be on the inside of the buffer. So there will be the Donnelly property here is obviously wooded, the majority of it, and so the woods will continue 20 feet into our site, and then the fence will be at the back of the residential lots.
Okay.
How would and this is just me asking, how would that buffer be maintained by the?
By the HOA. Yeah, it would be, so the way that buffers are platted now in Apex anyway is that they're a common area owned and maintained by the HOA, and then the legal lots don't start until the other side of the buffer.
Would there be any possibility of perhaps taking the fence away to at least allow wildlife movement a little more easily across the site and down into that riparian area? I mean, a fence is a pretty hard stop, you know?
Yeah, we can discuss it. I know there will be residential lots there, so I mean, I know deer go through people's yards all the time, so they could go through the back. But we can discuss that with Mr. Donnelly. It really was a privacy thing for him, and so, you know, part of this process, we're always trying to balance, you know, environmental concerns, town concerns, and neighbor concerns too. And so, you know, we're happy to discuss that.
And there's a second fence along the southern property line as
Yeah,
well?
I mean, that property owner they saw Mr. Donnelly got a fence. They wanted a fence too, you know, and so but we were clear that, I believe we worded it so that the fence in that location will only be adjacent to the residential lots. So we didn't want the fence just to go all the way through the riparian buffer and the natural area. And so it will stop at the back of the lots that we're constructing.
There's a potential for a stub road down there, right? On that.
Yeah, we've actually committed to that. So that was a staff request. And so that would likely go somewhere here. And then there would be.
At the least, you could leave that open.
Right, exactly. Yeah, we wouldn't put a fence. Well, yeah, but we'll talk about that, because I know in some places, Apex, where there are stub streets, they do go in and put the fence in, but
Typically don't allow you to put buffer across the future right of way either, so.
that's right. That's why we've had the condition about that, because it was a little unusual that we wanted to make sure that we didn't get in a spite strip situation in the future where there's a HOA-owned strip that, that's not public right of way, and so that's why we have it worded that way for the other stub street.
The buffers function somewhat as an animal right of way for the animals to go through. Is this fence going to be contiguous, or are you going to basically block the flow of any animals that want to go through there?
That's not the intent, no.
I know it's not the intent.
Yeah, and we haven't
continuous,
designed the fence, and maybe we need to discuss that with staff. Do we need to spell that out in the condition if there will be breaks?
Put certain openings in it or
Right,
something like
right,
that.
right.
Whether they go through or not, I think it should be set up for that.
Right.
Yeah, Lennar historically will put the vinyl fence around the majority of the perimeter property most of the time anyway.
Okay, so it looks like, in the packet we received on our form, you had checked off number 4, which was signage, or the pet shall install one sign per SCM to reduce pet waste, fertilizer, etc. And then you had also checked off number 13, which was 60% of the landscaping shall be native species. Would the board entertain a higher percentage? Do you think 60%, given what we've usually been recommending for native species?
We have gone with 70, I think, haven't we?
I think we usually have.
I would
Haven't we seen
propose-
75% or?
We have, I think we have.
I think
done
that's what comes to mind.
75?
We should be consistent.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, so I think we'd like to amend that to say 75%. That was number 13, and then you also have checked off number 27, which is the pet waste stations. That's it.
Yeah.
I would like to add number 3, that no buffer averaging shall be allowed for zone 3 of the riparian buffers. You mentioned that this is sort of a conservation type subdivision, and usually with that type of subdivision, there are additional conservation type things.
Yeah, we can discuss that with the civil engineer.
Let's Do you all have additional things that you'd like to see? Does any,
I do, yes.
please go ahead.
I would recommend, number 15, that deals with, native or adapted vegetation shall not constitute more than 20% of the plant material. Then number 16, the HOA covenants shall not prohibit clover or native grass mixed species lawns. Number 17, to support nesting and overwintering, the covenants shall not require that fallen leaves or dormant plants be removed during the winter on areas without turf grass. And that would be a condition on the HOA. And then on number 30, to wire the garages with 220-volt outlets for EV charging stations. Based on how often these things are rejected by the developer when it gets to the planning stage and stuff, I'm not sure it's worth doing this. I'm just sort of curious as to why a lot of these are rejected, particularly some of these things that seem a little low, no cost.
Well, I mean, it's hard to speak generally. I know each
know.
project,
I know.
yeah,
But I'm still going to recommend them.
yeah.
Okay, I'd like to add to that, if you don't mind. Number 30, it says outlet exterior. I think it should be exterior, interior. I know staff was concerned about our inspecting it or something, but typically the 220 is for charging, and you charge your car in the garage, not out of the garage. So I think that really should be an option if you want to do it at that amount, or interior. It makes more sense to
Good
me.
with that modification.
And step back to number 28. Solar PV system of at least 3.5 kilowatts shall be installed on at least, I picked six units. Did you address that, John?
I
couldn't
left that
hear.
for you.
Yeah, okay. On at least 6 units, which is simply 10%. And I know, like John kind of mentioned, we're going to go through this. You're going to shake your head. The developer's not going to do anything, which is a little bit irritating.
Well, we have had solar commitments in cases. I mean, so
Well, I
not every case is
I got to
rejected.
search them out because they seem to be extremely far and few between when I go down and watch what happens or review. And certainly I don't understand why you guys didn't just check off 30 automatically. We've been through that before. It's an asset for the sale of the house. I mean, it's so cheap to put in, and you can say it's PV or EV ready.
Yep.
I mean, come on, you guys.
Yep. Well, again, I mean, I agree with you on that specific condition. So sometimes with these meetings, my goal is to come in here and get your feedback before we add, because, you know, we could come to this meeting and you have a specific focus for this site, you know, and so the goal is to hear the feedback and then we can go back to the list. And I know in every case we don't add a lot of the conditions.
Okay, and I appreciate what you're saying, but just what I said before, I checked some of these out and nothing has happened. Now, maybe somewhere something got through a little slot that I missed and there was solar PV put on something. But I've seen other Lennar jobs where we recommended like 25 on a very large job, 0. Not even the token system someplace. So I just think it's it's almost anti-environmental. You know,
Just out of curiosity, like just say I'm the end user, I'm the one acquiring the home from the builder, and I don't have an electric vehicle that I'm going to charge. I don't have any intentions of having an electric vehicle I'm going to charge, but I'm going to pay for the installation of it that's there. I'm going to pay for the installation of the solar panels that are there, even though I don't want them, and I'm not going to use either one of them. So now that cost is passed on to the buyer. Yeah, I kind of feel like it's like if a buyer wants to install this, then it's, you know, you just increase the price of the home every time we add something, but it may not be used at all.
I understand what you're saying, but 6 homes is 10%, and that's 1 out of every 10. That's not very much. And in the past, when I was sitting on the council and pushed developers to do that, and they committed to doing it, every one of them that I followed up on ended up with more than what we requested, because people start putting them in, and then you get the penguin effect, which is where they see one go in one house, and they'll end up doing it in their house. And the 220 in the garage doesn't just drive a EV charging station. It could drive a whole lot of other things, washers, dryers, or whatever somebody might happen to want to put into that garage. And it's cheap. You know it's cheap to put one 220 volt. I mean, that's nothing.
It's a different situation.
It is in the noise level.
Again, it
We're
goes,
gonna go ahead.
goes against the affordable housing and all the other stuff. So
But
I
we're
just,
the environmental advisory board, so we.
right, well,
do keep our-
we can talk about that too going back to the previous meetings that we've had that didn't really follow the ABs as well.
Right, but I mean, specifically, I think Mr. Jensen's recommendation is coming from an environmental standpoint, as far as the EVs, the emissions, the solar, that kind
Yeah,
of stuff.
yeah, and I think, Mr. Adams, your concern specifically about the solar panels is accurate in that obviously here we're discussing environmental conditions, but our case obviously has to go through the policy review for every single item, and I think over time, to Mr. Jensen's point, Apex has gotten much stricter on requiring certain policy commitments in all different areas, and so we have to balance that, right? We have to balance, well, are we going to provide 5 or 10% affordable units, right? And so if you go through and agree to every single recommendation sort of in a vacuum, well, then you can get to a project that, you know, can't be built, financed, and so that's the concern, and not in every case, and not in for every recommendation, but just overall.
That's fine. These are recommendations.
Yeah.
One would think that maybe you might do one house. You could say somewhere along the line in some subdivision there was a house or two that had it put in. And the other part of it is, even if you don't,
Well, I believe in the
Let me
Castleberry
finish.
case,
Let me finish.
we did 20%.
Let me finish.
Yeah, okay.
Even if you don't put them in, you should be promoting it at least. And I don't see much promotion on that side of it either. You know, it's like you're anti-environmental, and we're sitting here trying to get you to do something.
It's ultimately not my decision, but
I know it isn't.
I'm trying to explain the policy balance that we're trying to strike, and why, when you go back and look through certain cases, there aren't certain commitments. That's all.
But, you know, 1 out of 60? Now, how is that going to really affect the affordability of the subdivision? Come on. You know,
We'll make that suggestion, Bill, and hopefully this is the unicorn. This will be the one.
Well, in the Castleberry case, I do mention that because I believe that case had a 20% solar commitment. It was at least 10%. So
on what Casper case?
Castleberry.
I never pushed for ever anything over 10% myself.
well, we went above that. So we
Yeah,
do it.
Okay,
It's-
there was one, I think, that went above the request.
The Lake Castleberry one off of.
That's right, off
Yeah,
Castleberry Road.
Lake Castleberry, and there was, well, before I got off the council, we had a developer that went well out of his way to do it. There are some developers every once in a while that are environmentally friendly. That happens once in a while.
Okay, so, Nora, could you double check? So, does anybody have anything else? Mr. Carpenter, comments? Okay, so I have number 4, number 13 at 75%, 27, 3, 15, 16, 17, 30 with the
Alternate.
modification, exterior or interior, and then 28 on 6 units. Okay. Is there a motion to put forward these recommendations?
I make a motion to approve.
Okay, Mr. Jensen, okay. Is there a second?
I second.
Okay, John, any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right, motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, now moving on to new business. We have Ashley here with us, covering several things for us.
I should have been doing this before. I was trying to be too damn polite.
Okay, good evening. Ashley Gentry, Deputy Town Clerk. Hope everyone is doing well this evening. I do have a few things we need to talk about. So I'm going to go over the 2026 calendar schedule for next year, 2026 meeting schedule. We are going to discuss and nominate a new chair and vice chair. And I'm going to talk about the upcoming expiring term for members who are expiring in January. So first, if you will take a look at the meeting calendar I put on your dais, you will see the consistency here. Thursdays, start time, meeting place, third Thursday of each month at 6 p.m. in the town council chambers. So that is consistent. Please plan to arrive 10 minutes early if you can, 5 to 10 minutes early. If you cannot, please contact your professional/board liaison, who is Nora, and or myself, the clerk's office, to let us know if you are going to be late or absent so we can make that correction. Or let them know, sorry. So we also have a change here for, one is the July 16th, Thursday, July 16th. That is consistent with what we have been doing overall, is canceling the July meeting. And the next recommendation is combining the November and December meetings. This has been consistent with some other advisory board meetings and has been going really well. That is the proposal tonight. And if you will notice, the December 10th meeting, I do want to recognize, is the second Thursday of December and not the third Thursday, because we are combining the November and December meetings. So so that date is going to be the second Thursday in December. Everything else is consistent. Again, like I said, third Thursday of each month, 6 o'clock, town council chambers. If you are in agreement with this, Chair, if you can make a motion.
Make a motion to approve the 2026 meeting schedule.
So moved.
Okay, Mark? Jerry, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed to this? Okay, motion passes.
Okay, thank you. Next is the recommendation for chair and vice chair. So, as you may or may not be aware, sad to say, Suzanne and John have done a fantastic job the past 3 years being our chair, Suzanne, and vice chair John. And so per the Code of Ordinances and our advisory board policy, serving 3 consecutive years as chair and vice chair is the maximum terms that you can serve consistently. So tonight we are going to nominate a new chair and vice chair. So therefore we cannot nominate Suzanne or John Garrison for the next year of 2026 chair and vice chair. Do want to note chair and vice chair. So just so you're aware, so if the chair is not here, the vice chair does run the meeting. And if the chair and vice chair is not here, maybe they're out, you guys will have a chair for that meeting. So that's just how that process works with being a chair and versus vice chair. Okay, so I'm going to open the floor with to you guys to select a chair. We're going to start with chair. If you have more than one nominations tonight for a chair, we will go to a ballot system. Okay? I will open the nominations now.
Can we make a motion to change that rule?
You might have to ask the town council over there.
I guess that's a no.
I would like to nominate Injiri if she's open to that.
You can have discussion. You don't have to accept it right now. You can have open discussions. And yeah,
When would I have to make a decision?
well, you have to make a decision tonight, but if anybody else wants to make a nomination, now is the time. So we have one nomination for Najiri. Does anybody else have another nomination for chair?
You poor thing.
You can nominate yourselves too.
You can nominate yourself if you choose.
Nobody else? Ooh.
Okay. So we have Najiri for nomination for the chair.
Wait, can the vice chair serve as chair, or is that also?
No.
off the table?
No. No. It doesn't work that way. Good question, though. Good question. Okay, so if Najiri accepts, does have to go through town council. I do have to tell you that. So these are all nominations tonight. The action has to be taken by the mayor and town council. So the nomination tonight will be taken at the next town council meeting. So, sorry. All right. So we have a Najiri on the table for chair. Is there a motion?
Motion, yeah, I'll make that.
Make the motion. So first,
I'll second that motion. Okay,
all right.
all in favor? Or are we voting? I'm sorry.
Yep. All in favor?
All right. Aye.
Did you accept already?
She's
I
going
had a
to.
question.
Any?
We're voting you in, or whatever.
All right.
Did I do vice chair?
If you want.
Okay.
Okay.
The decline chair.
Okay, so I
You want to decline chair?
decline chair and I'll nominate myself for vice chair.
Okay. I like this. Okay.
Well, we need.
I'm gonna make baby steps.
All right. So Najiri just nominated herself as vice chair. Let's make. Who wants to make a motion on that?
I make a motion.
All right.
Second it.
Sean second. Okay.
Oh.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. All right.
Any opposed? Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, now for chair. Nominations are open at this time.
All right. So,
Mr. Crowell, you've been here for a long time.
Yeah, I'm not very good at this, though. I mean, I don't think I'm the right fit. I have trouble
The clerk's
making the
office
meetings.
can provide some training if you choose for these leadership roles, chair and vice chair. That has been talked about previously, lately. So if now that we are changing leadership roles with various advisory boards, we can hold a session for training for the chair and vice chair. So if you're comfortable with that, that can be a,
That's not really the.
okay,
Yeah, it's,
okay.
Yeah, multiple passports.
More of a time commitment issue.
Sure.
I mean,
Multiple passports, you become somebody else.
I have missed a lot of meetings.
Is there
I
another,
have missed a lot of meetings, so.
okay. Is there
That's why
another?
we have a vice chair.
So it sounds like Sean may want to decline at this time. So is there a new nomination for
Yeah, I'll nominate myself.
Okay.
All right.
All right,
Well,
I'll second that.
I'll go with it.
All right, so we're going to say John Garrison's first motion first
Sure.
and second. Patrick second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. This information will be taken to the mayor for recommendation and confirmed by the town council at the next regular council meeting. So we'll be on the lookout for that. All right, so thank you guys. All right, one more thing. The upcoming update on expiring terms. So 2 members, Mr. Bill Jensen and we have Mr. Sean Kroll, whose terms are expiring January of 26. Nothing to do at this time. This is just for informational purposes only. We will come back to present you like we did previously with nominations or the applicants at a glance packet for you guys. We did, I do know Communications did put out a blast on our social media yesterday on applications, getting those applications in on various advisory boards. So we should be getting some applications in soon for that. So, but back to the point, these 2 members, you guys are up for reappointment. Your terms are not expiring at this time. So that will be up to the board for reappointment.
So do they keep coming until, okay, until.
So let's say, for example, so it's Sean Kroll and Bill Jensen. So they have served their term.
Their term is, what, 2 years? Or
3.
three?
Well,
three?
it's 3 years, but this was before the policy was adopted.
I thought I was up also in January 26.
Yours is December 26.
December 26.
Yep. So you got 2 years. So yours was renewed for 2 years, not 3 years, right? No, 3 years, yeah. But it's December 26.
Yeah, I was trying to remember what Alan had sent.
Yeah. So yours is January 24 through December 2026. Okay, so this is for informational purposes. I will be back. If, let's say I'm not back in January for more update, the members do serve until an action has been taken by the town council.
And that'll be communicated to them.
Yes, correct, yes. So please continue to come. Do not, don't not just show up unless you do not want to participate anymore on the board, then we would need to know that.
So will there be like a application process, or do we vote again in January?
So you do need to submit a new application if you do want to serve another term. Yes, sir. So I would suggest between now and January, going ahead and doing that. Go ahead and get that on your file. We do require you to update your application each term. That is part of our policy. So yes, so you do need to update your application if you do want to serve another term.
yeah.
Yes.
But it ends at the end, so.
Correct, but you can continue to serve until an action has been taken for your seat.
Okay,
Okay?
gotcha, thanks.
And Ashley, one other question real quick, if you wouldn't mind. So the clerk's office will be presenting an attendance report to council in January as well?
Yes, that should be on the first meeting in January. I am working on that. That should be completed very soon.
Okay.
Yes. Any other questions for me?
Yeah, actually, I have one about annual reporting. So is that the chair's duty to make that report, and we send it to the clerk's office, or like, what's the situation with that?
So that is updated through the town clerk's office. I think Alan is still working through that checklist of things. So you will be hearing more on that from him. I don't have anything to update you on the annual, on that itself. So That's all I have. No, so it's not being, it's implemented, but it's still in process at the moment.
So that do you anticipate we're gonna hear about it and there's gonna be a quick time on it, or?
I can follow up with you on that if you don't mind me. Let me follow up with Alan, and I'll get back to you on that. Get a little bit more information, see where he's at, and when we're gonna do that. Annual reporting. Any other questions this time? Okay. Well, I hope to see you back in January, and hope everyone has a good holiday, and yeah, be safe.
Thank you, ma'am.
Are you still gonna be on the board?
Yes.
When's your term, man?
According to the website, my term's up December 2026, so,
Oh, you got another year.
yeah. I just go by what the website says. All right, we got a couple more items open discussion. The tree canopy subcommittee updates. So Nora is going to help with that.
Yeah, we agreed we're gonna keep the update brief, just because we don't wanna be here the whole night. But subcommittee has met a couple times now, 3 or 4 times. We're working through a lot of the suggestions that we talked about here as a group. We made a big chart of all the things we would like to see, that we would like to ask council about. We just actually had a meeting before this meeting, and we kind of ranked and prioritized everything that we would like to see. So now we're gonna come back in January, do a few more meetings, and get that language finalized and make a presentation that will go to council. So things are in the works, and we'll come back at the January meeting and show you guys what we've come up with so far. Take your recommendations and go from there. But good things are happening. We're getting a lot done. And let me pull up, I think moving on, any questions about that? Last thing was EarthBest budget and items that we wanted to buy. So let me pull this out. Did you guys get a chance to look at that?
Yes.
Perfect. Hope that pops up. Sweet. Okay, let's see. Sorry, y'all. I didn't have time to pull this up beforehand since we were in that meeting.
No worries. So while I can ask this while you're also doing that, and let me know if it's too disruptive. Do we have extra t-shirts?
We do. We do have extras, but I think we only have a few extras.
Okay.
So that might be something we want to think about, saving budget for that.
Yeah.
I think we have 3, and they're all, I think they're like XL or XXL.
Ooh, okay.
They're like larger ones.
What's wrong with XXL?
Nothing's wrong with it. Nothing's wrong with it.
Except if we have some
many are
not
gonna be wearing that?
XXL.
How much did we spend? Laura, how much did we spend on
I mean,
t-shirts?
you know, it's
Yeah, I think we need to
hot
find out
during
how
Earth
many.
Fest, so you may not want that big t-shirt.
So, what we spent was that number, that 218 number. So that was just the shirt order. But again, that was for, I think we ordered like 13 or 14 shirts. So we would only have to order a couple more. But I know last time we talked about we need a table that's non-negotiable. I added those tent weights. This is kind of hard to see, but zoom in a little.
Can we talk about the table right quick?
Yeah.
We have a table cover that we've had for a while.
Yeah.
It will swallow a 4-foot folding table.
Oh, we can go
We
bigger.
need a larger table.
Okay, we can do
Or
that.
either 2 4-foot tables and stretch it out, but.
That's a good point. It is
I
big.
think either a
Yeah.
6 or an 8-foot table. I think, I wish I could remember how we sized that thing originally.
Could probably go pull it out of the storage.
I feel like 6
I think it's
foot is what most bowling tables
Yeah.
are, right?
yeah.
Yeah. I'll look though.
And the tablecloth, I don't feel like was something that was like, you pulled it out and was like, oh my gosh, this is ginormous. So I bet it's 6 feet.
Yeah.
Then why don't we turn that into a 6-foot folding table?
We can do that.
Yeah.
Yep. Do we like the tent weights? Any issues with those?
I think just from a safety perspective that we should probably have those. I mean, I know in years past, our tent neighbors have had very robust weights that we've sort of
Yeah.
attached ourselves
Yep.
to, but that might not always be the case.
I
I
think
feel like the
April can
weather's
be
always very
windy.
iffy during
Yeah,
that
and it was
time.
windy last
Yeah,
time.
April,
Yeah,
April can be windy.
yeah,
From the town council booth, you know, we have the weights and it saved us.
yeah,
So I'd
Yeah.
say it's worth
Yeah.
the investment.
yeah.
And I just found like this kind, but I mean,
Looks like
That's,
what,
that's
Yeah.
what I have from the
Okay.
soccer team. They're
And
10 pounds
that's what we
apiece
have,
with a strap.
Those
Oh,
are what we have.
okay. Yeah.
And they seem to work pretty well, and the weight is enough. Okay.
Depends on the wind speed, but
How many
Well,
pounds?
yeah.
How many pounds are the weights?
they're 10 apiece.
Yeah. Well, this is 30.
Ooh,
30 pounds
Well, I
each?
got a 10 pound. I didn't do the, so you gotta think about,
30 pounds for the set.
Per set.
Yeah.
right, so
Yeah,
you're,
there's
it's 120 pounds with one strap that you're shooting.
Yeah.
yeah.
I think like fire, it's like 10 pound per that you need.
I think the ones I got were 10 pounds apiece.
So you have like the 40-pound set.
Okay. 40 pounds.
We could play horseshoes with those things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have to be real accurate shots.
You would know if you got a ringer or not.
I mean, you get, it's 30 pounds for, that should be sufficient. If we need more than 30 pounds, we probably won't be having the event.
Yeah, or we'll be holding the tent now until the wind passes. Okay.
Come on, 30, 40? What if it's not
What's the price difference?
like $7?
I mean, Patrick, you've had your tent with the 40 pounds out, it probably in many conditions. Do you feel like 40 is satisfactory for?
10 pounds apiece has been satisfactory. Like I said,
I will say I've tabled at events and some festivals require like that 10 pound, or that 40 pound.
Oh, okay.
tent.
Yeah.
so I mean, the other thing too is where we've had a 5-gallon bucket with water and a you know, because you only have to do, you know, two of the posts.
Yeah.
Because that's which way the wind's blowing from. You want to do all 4 of them.
Yeah.
You know, if the wind's blowing one direction, you could almost double up
Right.
both of them on the front or both on the side. the back side's really not going to need weights because that part's not raising up.
Mm-hmm, that's a good point.
All right. So 40. And then I linked some table weights because I felt like last time that would have been helpful as well.
That would have been super
That would have been
helpful.
very
Yeah.
helpful. So that's what they look like. We can use that on the tablecloth
They
now.
look like fishing lures.
Go to Costco.
Yeah.
Go to Costco and in their parking lot, they have these
Well,
nice,
they make the table covers that has the elastic at the bottom. That,
Oh,
and that might save you a little bit of money instead of getting that. I would get the table covers that just has the elastic. It just like
It
Yeah.
scrunches your,
yeah.
Bungees it on, kinda.
but doesn't our tablecloth have environmental advisory board on it? Would that get squished?
It's got.
I
on
think
the
it
front,
does.
Yeah, it's got a low, yeah.
Facing down.
Then you might
Oh, it hangs down.
But then we
Yeah.
can use that for other things. 'Cause there have been things on the table that just blow away.
Yeah.
So I think we can just use that. Sometimes we just use water bottles just
Yeah.
to hold things.
Okay.
it's more environmental. Recycled water bottle, it really is.
Bring some rocks.
Kind of what we're doing. Like, Costco in the
A
parking lot
pile
with
of
those
rocks
pebbles.
in the
They got
yard.
beautiful pebbles.
Okay, so the rest are just possible giveaway items. So we obviously don't have to order all of this, but they're just some options. The utensils, they were really popular last year, but I mean, they are expensive. The sunflower grow boxes, I think those went over well too. We could get more of those. We talked about doing like a little temporary tattoo. Promotional Partners does custom ones, so that might be fun to make a little design and get a custom tattoo, or just like Earth Day stickers, or I found like little cardboard bookmarks, and we could have people design their bookmark, you know, bring markers out, or use the stickers to design. So just ideas.
Yeah, I really like
I'll-
those.
I'll-
Yeah.
I say the
Yeah.
stickers are good because I mean, if a lot of the kids are getting them too, they're gonna put them on their notebooks or whatever, it is,
Yeah.
or their water bottles, or you know, the temporary tattoo. It's gone.
Yeah.
On the temporary tattoos, is that cost include whatever the setup is for the design on the tattoo, or
You know, I don't know, but let's look.
that's usually extra?
They probably do.
Do we know where the bamboo utensils and the sunflower grow boxes are made? Tell me they're not made in China.
The bamboo utensils
I
are-
don't
They definitely
know.
are.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to buy anything from China.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know for sure.
Is there any way you
Well,
can,
it says it includes
well,
a full
this-
color process, and
Much at work.
This is, I mean, this is like this is who Apex partners with, the town. And we've got the little flag here, so maybe,
there's a
Hopefully
$25
this is-
setup charge.
oh, well,
How much? 20?
25.
Oh,
That's not bad.
that's not terrible.
yeah, I feel like something we ordered one year, it was
That's
like
what-
$250.
Embroider it down the street at the old Spain's restaurant. That's what I think they have a $25 setup charge also.
Yeah, I mean, that's,
Well, I'm pretty sure the previous, like, at least for the bamboo sets, this was through promotional partners, so
Yeah.
that wouldn't need to be set up again,
Oh,
right? I'm assuming they
uh,
would
or is it
be-
per
no, they're
pop?
going, no, they,
That is something the clerk's office, I do, but you have to call and you have to ask them to take that off. So they're not gonna automatically not,
Yeah,
you know,
Do it.
like, oh, she did it before, we'll take that off. That's not how
Yeah.
that works.
yeah. So let's go back real quick. The total budget that we had for this year was $2,000. We spent that $200 on the t-shirts, so we have about $1,700 left. And let's just say that we ordered all of this as is, it would be about $1,200. We'd have about $600 left. And that goes until the fiscal year in July,
So
correct?
June 30th.
Okay, so this event is in April and then the
Right.
fiscal year
Yeah.
is ending
and then
shortly
fiscal
there.
year.
Yeah.
Well, that, we could use some of that remaining 600 to cover a few more t-shirts if we need to.
Yeah,
T-shirts and the bigger table.
Make sure they're the correct size.
yep. Is there any of this that we just don't want? We know we don't want?
I like all of it. I mean, I like that there's smaller things that people can just come by and grab.
And I like the idea of the bookmarks with the kids being able to use markers on.
Do
And we
know
can
what
do
the
other
theme
things.
is?
What
Like,
about
is this
little
in line
keychains?
with what?
The theme is upcycling. So we could twist it somehow, some way. Work in the future. We could bring, well, that's what I was gonna say about the bookmarks too, is like, even if we didn't buy cardboard bookmarks, we could just bring materials from home, bring cardboard,
What about
magazine
little
cutouts.
That sounds
They're gonna
expensive.
probably run you at least $250 a piece.
I'm just saying, I mean, it's I feel like I don't know. I feel like the bookmarks are, and hell, my daughter's asking for a Kindle, you know, so I mean, it's
Yeah,
everything they reads online or whatever, so, but kids put stuff, you know, on their backpacks
Yeah, they do.
all the
they do.
time.
They do.
I mean, they get there's from little stuffed animals to whatever it may be on their soccer bags, book bags, boxes. I mean,
Yeah, that's-
I have something on my work bag, so.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like-
But what would it be? What would the shape be?
Look at what they sell.
But John, you think that they'd be pretty expensive?
I get some stuff from a company out of California that I get pins from, and they're always, you know, different stuff. And I'm thinking that last time they had something similar to what a keychain would be, it would be like about $250 a piece.
Well, we can,
So I don't know, you know, that's just what I remember.
Is the intention to have this for 2026 and 2020?
So we'll get
well, yeah.
possibly a new budget in July 1 of next year.
I feel like we're not going to give away all these things in
Yeah.
2026.
Yeah.
So,
Do you know? So the other event that we tabled at last year was the pollinator party in the garden.
Yes,
Do
in
you know if
June.
that's also happening?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that will happen again.
Okay, so we'll have like at least 2 events.
Yeah.
I want to know what the junior member wants to say about this.
I think all the items we already discussed sound good. Like the bookmarks and the flower pot.
I know it's like my daughter plays volleyball, and they all do. They call it. They clip each other, and they all decorate clothespins.
They do that in soccer.
And it's like you walk by, and somebody clips you. You don't even know, and you find the clips on later, and they all love it. And they spend like forever decorating
Tassel
them.
them
and
up
stuff.
and write stuff
Yeah.
on them. Yeah.
But
That's cute.
yeah.
I mean, that would be cute.
They're just like regular clothes.
Clothespins, like
Yeah.
the ones that you used to use when you hung your clothes outside. Yeah.
Physically
Like the
get the physically
Yeah.
decorate the wooden clothespins.
That would kind of tie in with upcycling. We've got clothespins, and you can
Yeah.
hang your thrifted clothes up with our little pins. That might be cute.
I mean, clothespins are not can't be that
You can get
expensive.
like a million of them for $2.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just while we're looking, it looks like it says $197 up. So it would be like $2 for 250. But then, yeah, what would the design be?
Yeah,
That's the question.
I guess for me, I also like all the stickers, the bookmarks. I think that's a really good idea. I guess I want to know how well did the sunflower grow boxes did last year? Just because, I mean, I love to garden, but I don't know how many other people like to garden or just handle plants.
Usually the box, we've had several different kinds of boxes. There is a fair amount of interest in them, and my understanding is that of the ones that we did have, the sunflowers did grow the best.
Okay.
Like, they actually grew. Yeah.
Yeah, we had like little pine tree boxes, and like nobody, well, not nobody, but
It was not popular.
it was, yeah, who wants to
didn't
like
grow
commit to a pine tree in a box?
Have you done like a native flower seed pack mix?
Well, we thought about that too, but then Ellison, our volunteer coordinator in town, she does the like pollinator programs. So she had like these really cute custom seed packs last year. So we didn't know if we wanted to like compete with what she's already got going on.
They've got that market.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They've preempted us on that.
yeah.
Yeah.
And we had a ton of seed packs, I guess from a couple years ago that we just couldn't get rid of. Like we still have extras.
They don't grow either.
Yeah.
Not after 3 years, anyway. I mean,
Okay.
the keychain, the price isn't that terrible, I guess.
Is there sort of a Earth Day environmental?
That's what I was looking at this right here. It's a 30 pack for $35. and you can design your own logo on it.
Yeah.
That's up to y'all. I mean, I feel like y'all would have to come up with the design.
I have a Town of Apex keychain, and I don't know, was it
May have been
Stormwater?
something we
Or
got at that
clerk's office? Y'all
orientation
have all
meeting.
kinds.
With the water tower.
Okay, that's not the one I have.
Probably
Oh, you know what?
stormwater.
Never mind, it's
Stormwater
an
always
Apex
has the
side.
most.
Yeah.
I mean, James acquires the most stuff over.
I mean, LED flashlights with environmental
Hmm.
logo on it.
Yeah.
That's you can get $250 for $1.93 plus setup for the logo. But I mean that's got sort of a keychain like thing. You can hang it on your backpack.
Can you replace the battery in those, or is it,
Rechargeable
once
batteries.
it does it stops working, is it?
I think you can. It's a cell battery.
So
It's a button cell battery, so
you could replace it?
you can replace it. Yeah.
Okay. What do y'all think about, so far we've got clothespins and keychain flashlights. Should we do either of those, both of them, one or the other?
One or the other. So
Yeah.
they'll probably be
I would say
expensive.
it's a commitment. I don't think it's to decorate those clothespins.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, it's going to be a 4-hour arts and crafts session for us all
yeah,
one night.
yeah.
I thought we'd send them to the high school.
I mean, it'll be
Have those.
glue guns, glitter, and
Have a contest.
If it's glitter, I don't want glitter. No, I don't.
Well, with the cardboard bookmarks, is the intention to have them like color it right there? Like, do
Yeah.
we need a separate table and supplies and all that stuff so kids can do that?
Well, that's a good question. Do we want to
then
get
it's more
2
interactive.
tables? It could just be at the end of our table, and like, yeah, we'd have like a bucket of
Well,
markers.
so,
Yeah.
but if we have this, if we do this, the spinny game at,
Yeah.
that does take a lot of space, and we really only have the area in front of our tent.
Right.
So anything that kind of jams it up might be
Yeah.
a problem.
I really like the spinning game, so we should always
Yeah.
You do?
keep
I like the
that.
game.
Yeah, I mean, you get a lot of interaction.
That's how we get
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, the game thing. People line up for that.
They do.
Yeah, they do.
They really do.
They do. I think the flashlight keychain, I mean, if we could, what do you think?
I'll second it.
Sean's second flashlight keychain.
Let's do it.
Let's do it, okay.
And
But
it-
making sure that, obviously the priority is the t-shirts. I don't know if they've gone up in price or, anything like that.
Well, and I feel like we should wait to order the t-shirts until we know if
Yeah.
we're getting new people or what the transition is.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
But yeah, so LED flashlights add. Are we taking anything away? Adding anything else? Got the folding table, the tent weights, table weights, utensils, sunflowers, the custom tattoos, stickers, and the bookmarks.
I'm thinking either the tattoos or the stickers, one or the other, not both.
I'd rather have the stickers.
Yeah. I'd
Yeah.
rather the stickers.
Okay.
The setup on the keychain flashlight thing's $40, not $25.
does it come with a double A battery?
Is that on
Yeah, it comes
what?
with a ba- It comes with a battery. It comes with a battery.
What website are you looking at, John?
Promotional part.
Promotional partners. Okay. Okay.
And I mean, they can take the bookmarks and color them, and I still like that idea.
Yeah, I like that. And then what was the quantity that you're looking at for those? Just so I'm
I think the minimum was $250.
250. Okay. And we can keep those. I mean, if we don't use them. Oh, perfect. Okay.
If we, just detail thing, if we do keep them, which be possible to keep them in your office in a
just don't
climate-controlled
wanna bring it.
space so the batteries don't
Yeah,
leak out?
yeah. We'll find a way to put them
Okay.
somewhere. Yeah.
Not out in the storage thing out
Yep.
back.
Yep.
Okay,
Okay, so assuming that the total is going to be somewhere around this much, are we okay with that? Probably like 1,200, 1,300. And then we'll have a couple hundred left over for shirts, and then we'll get hopefully a new budget.
yeah. And then we should have some materials left over if we do the pollinator thing
Yeah.
after.
Yep.
Well, that may have been in the new fiscal year anyway.
I think it was like June 27th.
Yeah.
It's like right before.
Okay, great. All right,
Good.
so one last call for discussion on this. Y'all good with this plan?
Taking tattoos away, adding flashlights.
Yep.
And do we want another table or no?
That was a bigger table.
Just the bigger one?
Yeah.
Just 8 foot
Yeah.
or 6
We
foot?
can reevaluate next year.
Yeah, okay, okay. All right. I think we're good.
All right. Y'all have any other items for discussion?
Actually, I do have one more thing.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me find my notes on it so I make sure I say the right thing. We had, actually a couple people, someone in Stormwater emailed me as well, and someone, I think Amanda sent it to me. Summit Pines, which is 1,000 Sweet Bay Haven Lane, that development, I think EAB suggested that they add 2 signs about wetlands at their stormwater retention ponds. So they wanted clarification on the language that you'd like to see on the signs. Or if you have any language you'd like to suggest.
So these, wait, so these are stormwater control measures that are an engineered wetland?
No, I think they're just the stormwater ponds in the developments, but there needed to be signs about preservation of wetlands. Or no, signs about wetlands near environmentally sensitive areas, was what the email said.
Stormwater,
Yeah.
just wetlands.
It's just wetlands.
The bullet says signs about wetlands.
Signs about wetlands.
Yeah.
I don't remember us doing that.
We did the
Yeah,
little diamonds that we talked about with.
right. It could just, I would suggest environmentally sensitive area, or just something like that. Cause usually, cause what we had on our list, even as we have tweaked the list, one sign per SCM to reduce pet waste and prohibit fertilizer in locations that are publicly accessible. So that was the one sign criteria, and then the other one was to indicate RCA.
Yeah, there was the buffer one.
Yeah.
But we,
I remember that was the triangle one.
Yeah.
the diamond. But I don't,
It's not in here yet. Staff is still looking at it, I think.
okay,
I think staff's still looking at it.
yeah. Perhaps Bruce, do you have any
Bruce?
suggestions?
It's the address is 1,000 Sweet Bay Haven. I don't know what exactly that is. Summit Pines, that's the development. It says the following environmental conditions shall apply to the development. It's a minimum of 2 educational signs about wetlands shall be installed near environmentally sensitive areas.
Education?
That's what I'm thinking, yeah.
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
I don't remember that at all.
And it's not the pet waste because there's a second bullet about the pet waste signs. Yeah.
So if you can get them to verify exactly what they're asking for, you can provide them what they're looking for, maybe.
Yeah, what all they said was, do you have an example of what wording we would need? So,
And they're actually doing what we asked them to do. We should definitely give them something.
I just, yeah.
And someone in stormwater actually in this email chain, they said check with EAB, but it could be generic stormwater control facility, no dumping, fishing, or swimming.
But see, I'm getting confused. Like that seems to indicate that it's a pond, which is
Jimmy
very
Osborne?
different than a wetland.
Did Jimmy send that? Because he's the one who deals with
Yeah,
stormwater bonds.
yeah, Jimmy did.
Those swimming ones come from the HOA. No swimming or fishing or that kind of stuff.
I mean, if it's actually a pond, it should say something about no fertilizer or.
Okay, I'm reading more in the email thread. Someone else said the PUD specifically says wetlands, but I don't think there are any natural or otherwise on that project. It's a wet pond, underground storage, and a few Filterra boxes.
Oh, I don't think that the sign should go there then. Because it's grassed, right? It's turf.
Well, the bio pond would be turf. A wet pond won't be. Wet pond, we have aquatic shelf with a riser structure in it.
Yeah. So we do have something about the wet ponds, saying that it should, fertilizer and stuff like that should be not used. Where did this go?
Is that somewhere in the suggested zoning
Yeah.
conditions?
That just kind of more or less applies to the management company. Because everybody else's stormwater runs off to the stormwater ponds.
So it's the project shall install, the current one says the project shall install one sign per SCM to reduce pet waste and prohibit fertilizer.
And that's all it says.
Yeah, that's all it says.
So would you like staff to confirm whether it was intended for the stormwater measure?
Yeah.
Or it's like maybe something that got approved in passing, we just don't quite remember if there was some talk of wetlands. In the event though that it's not for the stormwater pond, is there any particular type of language you would like to see?
Is that something Jimmy inspects when he does the final approval of conversions? Or is that coming
I
from the
honestly
planning
don't
department?
I mean, if it's,
I do not expect.
I mean, if it's not a natural wetland, we can't say environmentally sensitive area. Then it becomes a matter of you want to keep the dog waste and the fertilizer out of it. Which you'd want to do that on a regular wetland as well, but if it's like an actual natural wetland, you know, just maybe something like environmentally sensitive area, you know, no disturbance allowed or something like that. What do y'all think?
I would put like habitat for wildlife or something if they want to add.
Who's monitoring this? I'm just saying it sounds great, but which department?
This would be the compliant, I mean, like,
Which department come out and verify that they're installed every 100 feet or they're even there?
I think it's the compliance folks.
Zoning compliance go out there and ensure that all site elements that are part of the zoning conditions are intact at the time before they get their CO. But,
Well, that would be prior to plat, actually.
they have to still go out and inspect, like, the parking's installed, the parks, there's multiple phases yet.
That'd be prior to plat, so that buffers are planted and CBUs are installed. And
Yeah, if we could just get some clarification on what the situation is.
Yeah, I'll look into that more. Okay. Well, now that's all I had, so I think we're good.
One last thing. I'd like to congratulate Suzanne for her leadership over the last years as chair, and I give her a round of applause.
Oh, I appreciate that very much. It's been interesting, especially 2 meetings ago. That was great. All right, y'all. Well, that concludes the last meeting of this year. Unless there's anything else. All right. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All right, Mark.
Second.
Second, Sean. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, we are adjourned. Happy New Year, y'all. Happy holidays. Yep.
Where did we get that?